Hey, it's me, Shuhang. How are you recently? Perhaps have you heard of hieroglyphs? Don't worry, this is not a magical spell text used by Harry Potter, and it isn't the galactic universal language left by aliens on Earth. Hieroglyphics are an ancient and interesting form of writing that may be more familiar than you think. Please follow me to my memories, and I will introduce you to this interesting thing. I was born into a family full of ancient Chinese culture and historical heritage. My grandma is a Chinese teacher, and my grandpa is a social science worker. When I was very young, they used to tell me stories about ancient Chinese history and hieroglyphs. These stories captivated me and inspired a deep interest in words and symbols. Hieroglyphics are an ancient form of writing that uses pictures or symbols to represent objects, concepts, and ideas. This form of writing first appeared in the early history of human civilization and is a primitive and intuitive way of communication. The beauty of hieroglyphs is that they express complex concepts graphically without the need for complex alphabetical spellings or language structures. These ancient writing forms include oracles, Chinese characters, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and something others, which record precious information about ancient culture and history. Although no longer widely used in modern writing, hieroglyphs still have historical and cultural importance. When I was a child, I was first exposed to books about oracles outside of textbooks. The book showcases ancient hieroglyphics, often carved on turtle shells and animal bones. I was deeply attracted to those mysterious symbols, and it was the curiosity that led me into the world of literacy. My parents encouraged me to understand these hieroglyphs because they were forward-thinking parents at a time when the term literacy in education field had not yet entered our daily lives. But my parents knew that what I needed to develop was not just reading and writing, but also the ability to understand and apply text. This awareness has transcended traditional language education and become more comprehensive and diversified field. So, I started my hieroglyphic journey. In my literacy learning process, understanding and mastering oracles is not only a writing skill but also a culture journey. First, I need to understand what these symbols represent. Some symbols are easy to understand, such as the mountain pictogram that looks like an outline of a mountain. However, other symbols may require more research as they may represent abstract concepts such as time, relationships, or actions. Understanding the meaning of these symbols required me to delve into the history, religion, social structures, and values of ancient China. This means that I would carefully study all aspects of ancient China. These elements form the background and the environment of society at that time. These in-depth studies not only help me understand the symbols, but also help me understand the social lifestyles and people's way of thinking at that time. This helped to place the symbols within a wider cultural context and understand their role in a specific context. This allows me to connect symbols to culture and integrate them into my literacy skills, making learning richer and deeper. For example, this oracle's inscription looks like a sun rising over a field, and this inscription described the time in ancient Chinese life, referring to the morning of the day, specifically the moment when the sun rises. This reflects the ancient Chinese people's time, perception, and important events in daily life. How about it? Is it interesting? As I grew up, I started learning my second language, English. I started to applying this knowledge to my English studies, and this is an interesting and fulfilling process because it involves connections and comparisons between different language and different symbol systems. Through hieroglyph learning, I can gain a deeper understanding of the structure of Chinese vocabulary. I can see the various parts of words and understand how they relate to meaning. This helped me better understand the rules, affixes, and word formation rules of words in English, thereby expanding my English vocabulary. For example, I learned that Chinese way of writing television is a combination of electricity, 电, and view, 视, where electricity means electric current and view means vision. That helped me better understand the formation of word in English. For example, the combination of tele and vision in television. Hieroglyphs taught me how to understand syntax and semantics because in hieroglyphs, the arrangement and structure of symbols are crucial to conveying accurate meaning. This knowledge helped me better understand the grammatical rules and sentence structure in English, allowing me to read and write more fluently. At the same time, it made me more sensitive to symbolism and metaphor. I learned that symbols and metaphors in text can transcend literal meaning and convey deeper message and emotions. This is very helpful for reading and analyzing English literacy works. For example, the Chinese word mountain can symbolize solidity and insurmountability, a concept that can also appear in English. For example, overcoming a mountain of challenges. This enabled me to gain a deeper understanding and interpretation of the meaning of symbols and metaphors in English literacy. Through the study of hieroglyphs, I gained an in-depth understanding of the culture and history of ancient China, which enabled me to better understand the cultural elements and background of literary works. This cultural understanding helps to interpret the text more fully, especially when the text involves elements from different cultures. In my opinion, applying the knowledge of hieroglyphs to English learning is not just about transferring the principles of one script to another, but also a cross-cultural thinking process. This cross-cultural understanding helps me understand and apply English more comprehensively, making my literacy skills more comprehensive and in-depth. Gradually, my learning experience gave me a broader semiotic repertoire, which is a collection of symbol systems, including words, symbols, images, sounds, and something else. This repertoire not only covers Chinese and English, but also includes more culture and language symbols. This enabled me to better understand and communicate with people from different culture and social backgrounds. For example, during my studies, I explored Chinese poetry and gained a deep understanding of how the meaning of each word affects the expression of the overall poem. I also studied Chinese calligraphy and discovered how to express emotion and beauty through the arrangement of strokes. This experience further expanded my semiotic repertoire, allowing me to express myself and understand others more diversely. Finally, I would like to say that this learning process also awakened my critical thinking about language. Literacy and symbol critical thinking about language is a profound and multi-layered process. It includes the analysis of language structure, cultural understanding, recognition of symbolic power, discussion of social meaning, text analysis, and respect for diversity and inclusion. Through literacy, we can understand and express ourselves more accurately, and through the analysis of symbols, we can gain insight into the manipulation of information, opinions, and emotions. Critical thinking helps us identify and construct power dynamic in society, including language discrimination and social isolation, and promotes diversity and inclusion. The way of thinking not only gives us a more comprehensive understanding of text and cultures, it also makes us better equipped to engage in profound conversations, drive social change, and build more equitable and understanding societies. Through critical thinking about literature and symbols, we not only become better language learners but also deeper thinkers and more socially responsible citizens. For the past 23 years and 6 months of my life, I have been exposed to literacy every day, whether it is biliteracy, pluraliteracies, or semiotic repertoire. These learning processes have taught me that literacy is not only a skill but also a way of thinking. It requires a deep understanding of culture and history behind the text to better understand and engage in social dialogue. I am grateful for this journey because it taught me that literacy is beyond letters, Chinese characters, and grammar. It is a door to knowledge, wisdom, and civilization. This process made me understand that every book, every article, and every symbol is a tool to express culture and ideas. And literacy is also a key to unlocking these tools. Likewise, language learning is an ongoing journey, and there are always more books and texts waiting to be explored, and more ideas and perspectives waiting to be challenged. This journey awakened in me the awareness of literacy as a valuable asset, a lasting companion, and can get us toward a richer and deeper understanding of the world. This is my memoir about literacy. Thank you for listening.